Hello again friends, enjoy this short story. Title: Am I the A for telling my SIL her pregnancy announcement was inappropriate at my wedding? My husband, 30M, and I, 26F, got married during COVID. We couldn't have a big ceremony because of restrictions, and unfortunately, my family couldn't attend as they live in a different country. With restrictions lifted, we decided to have a more traditional ceremony in my home country with my family. My husband's family came, including his parents, some friends, cousins, his sister Sarah, 32F, and her husband Matt, 28M. Sarah and Matt live far away from the rest of the family. Ever since their wedding a couple of months back, Sarah kept mentioning that she and Matt were planning to get pregnant during our wedding trip. I thought it was a bit annoying but didn't think much of it. When we were discussing activities for the trip, Sarah always insisted on having enough hotel time for baby making. Again, it was annoying but I let it slide. A week before we left for my home country, Sarah and Matt arrived to spend time with family. During a family chat, Sarah suddenly announced she was pregnant. We congratulated them, but she said she was only 2 weeks along. We suggested they wait before telling more people, given how early it was. Sarah ignored this advice and told extended family and even some friends the next day. Matt got annoyed because they had agreed to keep it a secret. My husband felt Sarah was trying to steal the spotlight from our wedding, but I assured him she wouldn't say much during the trip. He shared his concerns with his parents, and they agreed to talk to Sarah. Once we arrived in my home country, I had an emotional reunion with my mom, whom I hadn't seen in 5 years. We sat down for a meal with my husband's family. Immediately, Sarah told my mom she was pregnant. My mom congratulated her but advised her to wait until the second trimester to tell people. Sarah ignored her and kept announcing her pregnancy to everyone she met, including my family members she had just met. My husband again asked his parents to talk to Sarah about keeping her pregnancy private during the trip. Matt apologized, admitting it was getting out of hand. During one excursion, a family I lived with for 3 years joined us for lunch. My husband ordered shots for everyone, except for his mom. Sarah overheard and made a big scene about not being able to drink because she was pregnant. The wife from the family congratulated her and suggested being cautious about telling people so early. This scenario repeated several times throughout the week. The final straw came at the wedding when Sarah was complaining to my high school friends about feeling sick, hinting at her pregnancy without anyone asking. When she followed us, pushing for attention, I finally snapped and said, "Sarah, are you kidding me? No one cares that you're pregnant, they don't even know you." Sarah ran off crying, and my mother-in-law got upset, telling my father-in-law, who then yelled at my husband. My husband and high school friends think I didn't do anything wrong, but my mom and some of my husband's family think I was the asshole. Update: My husband and I finally went on our honeymoon, and we were unreachable during our holiday because we were out of the country. Our whole family knew this before we left, and we told them the only way to reach us in an emergency was to call the hotel. We knew Sarah had an appointment while we were away and promised to call her as soon as we got back. One day, after a full day of activities, we returned to our hotel to find a note saying we needed to go to reception. There, we were informed that we had 7 missed calls from family and were given a number to call. Worried it was an emergency, we called the number and it was Matt. He was confused and asked why we were calling him on our honeymoon and if everything was okay. We explained that the hotel said this number called 7 times, and we wanted to make sure everything was fine. Matt said everything was okay, but Sarah wanted to talk to us. Matt called Sarah over, and she asked us how we were enjoying our trip, but we were anxious to know what was going on because we were worried. Sarah said she went to the doctor and got some news. We asked if everything was okay, but she kept stalling and whispering to Matt. We heard Matt say, "Did you seriously call the hotel 7 times to tell them this? It could have waited." Finally, Sarah told us that the doctor said she was going to have twins. We congratulated her and asked if there was anything else because we thought it was an emergency. She said no, she just wanted to share the news because she was so excited and scared and couldn't hold it in. She also mentioned that she called my mom and told her too. My husband and I told her we were happy for them but didn't want to be bothered again unless it was an emergency. Sarah said we were being very rude and she just wanted to share the good news. We hung up because we had to get ready for dinner. When we got back to the US, my in-laws picked us up from the airport and asked if we spoke to Sarah. We said yes. She told us she was having twins and we were excited for them. My father-in-law then said Sarah told them we were extremely rude to her and Matt and that we were dismissive and hung up the phone. We explained what really happened, and they said that's not what Sarah told the whole family. We are now back home and haven't spoken to Sarah or Matt. Matt texted us later, apologizing for bothering us on our vacation and saying he felt horrible. We just replied that it was all good and that we were excited for them. All I can say about this whole situation is that I am very happy we live on the other side of the country from Sarah.